Thanks so much for watching The Noon. I'm Marielle Lou.
I'm Brandon Hudson in for Lee Thomas. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
We made it to the end of the week.
Am I allowed to feel like, oh, it's finally Friday, when you've been filling in for me all
week?
week?
You didn't have to tell anybody. You could have just said, Happy Friday.
Right.
I'm glad we're here at the end of the week. But
I'm
no,
just sharing with you.
But I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Hey, look.
Steve said, you've been here 2 days. And I'm tired.
But hey, look, we made it to the end of the first week of 2024. Friday Vibes is trending on social media. So do you have any Friday vibes other than maybe listening to Bruno Mars to ease you into the show?
It's going to be centered around some good food.
Okay.
Always. And probably some good Netflix.
Okay.
A good movie.
What are you watching right now?
You asked me too fast. I'm watching Black Cake on Hulu.
Okay.
That's really good.
I've heard that was a good show.
I'm watching some of the comedy specials on Netflix that dropped recently. But also, I'm hearing there's some good Instagram TV as well.
You need to watch. You need to YouTube Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp, his interview with Cat Williams. Everybody has been talking about this on social media. Maybe you're seeing it pop up on your Facebook feed, your Instagram feed. If you are a big fan of Cat Williams and his storytelling, and you're a big fan of Shannon Sharp, you want to watch this almost 3-hour conversation.
Can I just ask a few questions? Because I've been following this story. You just have to type in Cat Williams on any social media right now, and it'll pop up what we're talking about. Is it funny? Is this him slamming people while being funny, or does he seem like he's losing it?
It doesn't give me the feeling that he's losing it.
Okay.
But he is throwing jabs at a lot of your favorite comedians, a lot of well-known comedians.
That's some good shade.
Yeah, he's throwing shade at Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, Kevin Hart, Ricky Smiley. Like, I don't know what is going to be the future of Club Shay Shay, if anybody's going to want to come back to Club Shay Shay.
Oh.
But Cat Williams said he hopped on the show on this episode in particular to set some records straight about some rumors that have been said about him. So he's saying he's out there saying his truth or saying the truth according to him.
Okay, well, maybe I will check that out this weekend.
Like I said, it's almost 3 hours. I watched the first hour and 45 minutes, but if you just get to the first 5 minutes of this episode,
you've been talking about it. It must be good. All right. Well, this might be a good weekend to do it because it's the first weekend of the new year. And if you don't have any plans, maybe you're watching Club Shay Shay, but we have some other ideas for you. And get started on those resolutions. How about that? No matter what it is, take steps to begin or get back on track if you've already kind of fallen off. Some people really only make it like 3 or 4 days, which is interesting. You can start a new book. Might be cold. If you like the outdoors, you can head out for a hike, take in the fresh air. Time to maybe do a deep clean. I'm sure we all have the deep clean.
My wife was cleaning up the house on her day off today.
What about taking down the holiday decorations? And when is the right time to do that? When is the right time to take down the decorations? Let me know. Hashtag noon.
If you check with your Fox 2 weather app first before you do that, and check with Derek's forecast in the next block, because I think we're going to have some wet weather move into the area. I took advantage earlier this week. I had the first couple of days off, so I went outside and took the decorations out off the front porch outside. Reading a book. I feel like it's going to be too wet to go for a hike, but some people do like the challenge.
Wet hikes? I'm good on that.
But yeah, I read a book. I have a couple of books that I need to catch up on. And watch football.
Hashtag the noon. Let us know what you're doing the first weekend of the new year.
All right, so now to a fight between two men at a Subway in Philadelphia that turned deadly, and the death is being investigated as a homicide, but some are wondering if this was self-defense. Now, we want to issue a warning here. The video that's obtained by TMZ is graphic for some, but take a look at this. Okay, so we had to stop the video there. So there you see two men who were going at it, and when one of them ended up on the tracks, the man was struck by a train, later pronounced dead. We were reading so many comments about this case, whether the man arrested for allegedly pushing him or punching him onto the tracks was acting in self-defense, or if he was intentionally waiting for the subway to come before he made his move. Now, also, some say that the people standing around watching the brawl go down, of course, you have somebody who was videotaping this, they should have stepped in.
Stepped in? Okay, so right after he falls on the tracks, then the train comes?
That is what I am.
And he
I've read
gets
about
run over by the train?
Yes.
You lived in Philadelphia. Is that a normal thing?
So fights in the subways, and they are underground.
Yeah.
The subway, they do have their own, police that go around. Fights in the subways are common. I don't think I've ever heard of a situation like that where two people were fighting, and especially to say that it's unclear on whether this guy knew. It seemed like the guy had his back toward.
Yeah.
You can always hear it.
Yeah.
You can hear the subway, but I don't know. There's a lot that needs to be answered. But yeah, I can't say that I've been in a situation where, at least in my memory, where someone has been pushed off into the train or fallen into the train. There's people that will have jumped.
Right.
And you have to know that those tracks below, they are, they're electric. So police have told me that if you fall onto these tracks, you can be electrocuted, especially if a train is coming.
Okay, so we established that.
Yeah.
The issue, though, is people are saying that I believe it's a woman who was videotaping, and I guess some other people there should have stopped the fight.
Or at least try to. See, so it's a tricky thing. And I don't know if you've ever heard of this situation here. I had a former coworker, friend of our family, who has told me that she has seen a number of people try to stop fights before. And I think we had a story a few months ago where a guy over, I think it was Port Huron or somewhere in the area, where he stood up for a woman, ended up, losing his life. Through some security guards who had stepped in. But I've heard of numerous stories where people have tried to stop a fight. They've been a bystander seeing what's happened. And they have been killed. So it is always tough. You want to stop fights, you want to be the hero. It's never good when somebody is recording something and seeing it happen and could have done something to stop it, because the one thing that people are going to say when you post it online is, well, why were you videotaping?
Right.
And why didn't you do anything to try to stop this? It's a darned if you do, darned if you don't situation.
Yeah, hashtag the noon. If you saw a fight where you felt like you could intervene, would you step in? Interesting.
Yeah.
Now to an online frenzy. This story's been going on for a few weeks, but there's something new every day, and I was saving it for you because I would love to know what you think about this.
I was seeing this pop up on social media during my time off. I got tired of it, honestly.
Yeah. All right. We're talking about Green Bay Packers player Jonathan Owens. What happened here? He recently made remarks about his wife, Simone Biles, and now he's getting a pretty polarized response. So he was on the Pivot podcast last month, and he claimed he had never heard of Simone Biles. He had no idea who she was. This is a professional athlete who's saying, I didn't know who she was. Biles happens to be one of the best gymnasts in history, by the way. I think the best gymnast in history, not one of. She's an Olympic gold medalist. And if that's not enough, when Owens was asked if he considers himself to be the catch in the relationship, he said, absolutely. He said, I always say that the men are the catch. Now, a lot of other celebrities are chiming in, some saying that he knew exactly who Simone Biles was. Also on TikTok, it's made its run where other therapists are saying, danger girl, a man who would say, because that's your wife.
Right.
So if you didn't know who she was, why would you say that now and sort of diminish her accomplishments in that way, if that was his intention? What do you think?
I feel like he knew who she was.
Yeah.
Every dude knows who she is.
Yeah.
Look, I know the Olympics are around every 4 years, but for someone of Simone Biles' caliber and her accomplishments and everything that she has done, you can't ignore that.
He said he was at training camp and they didn't have TVs, so he missed that Olympics. That's what he said.
If you're an athlete, you know who other athletes are. I'm just saying that. But I appreciate I applaud his confidence for saying that he's the catch, because I feel like sometimes men, we know that women are the catch. And I've been told many times that I have outpunted my coverage when it comes to my wife. But you want to have some sort of confidence to say, hey, look, hey, look, she got a catch too.
Yeah.
You know, so she was there during the interview, so I don't think. If she wasn't offended in the beginning, I could see it. But I think if she wasn't offended and she was there, I don't think it's a big deal.
They've turned it into, we have to wrap this up, but they have turned it into a thing. Now he's being referred to as Simone Biles' husband.
That's fine.
And that name's probably going to stick. Do you think that's going to get to his ego?
It's the same thing with Travis Kelce. No, I don't think so. Same thing with Travis Kelce calling him Mr. Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the women.
The guys like that? I think that kind of sting a little bit.
They may say something about it publicly.
Yeah.
But I don't think it doesn't. If you've got your security, if you're not insecure,
yeah,
you're good.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. #The Noon. What do you think? We'll be reading your comments on our Twitter page a little bit later on in the show.